90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 8 features closure, delusion, and an awkward declaration of love. By author Paul Dale. The best way to sum up 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 8 is a mixed bag. Some relationships progressed, others regressed, and one ended before our very eyes. And honestly, that's exactly the level of chaos I expect from this show by mid-season. Let's start with Brandon and Julia because, what even was that? Betty and Ron showing up and expecting a group of exhausted people to match their energy was so on brand. TLC, screenshot. Let TV Fanatic come to you. You can have great TV Fanatic content delivered right to your inbox. All you need to do is subscribe now. These two have never met a boundary they didn't bulldoze. Instead of giving Julia's parents a chance to, breathe after traveling across the world, Betty and Ron swooped in unannounced like it was their personal sitcom spin-off. The issue, as always, is Brandon. He's never once cut the cord with mommy and daddy, and he clearly thrives on letting Julia fight his battles while he sits in the corner smirking. TLC, screenshot. When he flipped the script and accused Julia of being ungrateful, after his parents hijacked the night, I nearly threw something at the screen. Sir, your wife is not the villain here, it's the two people still treating you like a teenage farmhand. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Features too much Betty and Ron. The cherry on top was his leaving the house with his parents after chewing Julia out. Imagine humiliating your partner like that on national TV. At this point, I'm convinced Brandon eggs this on for camera time, because there's no other explanation for siding with Betty and Ron every single time. Honestly, if Julia had any sense of peace left in her soul, she'd run. Betty and Ron will always come first. They've perfected this, woe is us, routine where they sulk the second Julia points out their nonsense, then claim they're just trying to help. It's manipulative, exhausting, and frankly, it's the only storyline they've got. The saving grace here is Julia's parents. Their faces said it all, bewilderment mixed with secondhand embarrassment. At least now Julia isn't totally outnumbered. I can't wait to see more of them, especially if they start side-eyeing Brandon the way we all do. Switching gears. Matt and Jasmine. This situationship is spiraling exactly where we all knew it would. Jasmine keeps insisting that nothing romantic will happen with Matt, but come on. The man is clearly in his feelings, and she's been nesting in his house like it's an Airbnb with unlimited patience. Matt is acting like he's auditioning for most devoted backup boyfriend. He's the emotional support system, the chauffeur, the housemate, and he's definitely not looking at Jasmine like just a friend. The fact that he's put his entire life on pause while she cries over Gino tells us everything. And Gino, phew, where do we even begin with this hat-wearing disaster? The man lives to pit women against each other. Jasmine and Natalie have been his puppets all season, but the strings finally snapped. Natalie peaced out and told him she's done. Did anyone else cheer when she left? Because I did. The best part was the producer asking Natalie if she had any last words. Savage. That's 90 Day Fiancé breaking the fourth wall and basically confirming her time on the show is up. But if Gino thinks he can slither back to Jasmine after Natalie dumped him, I hope he's ready for the bombshell that Jasmine is pregnant with Matt's baby. The irony is delicious. Gino, who thinks he's this irresistible prize, might have to watch Jasmine build an actual life with someone else. And let's be real, he's not exactly worth fighting over. The hat, the tantrums, the constant gaslighting, no thank you. Could Darcy and Georgie stand the test of time? Over in Bulgaria, Darcy finally met Georgie's parents, and honestly, it was about time. These two have been together forever, so I get why Georgie was nervous. His parents probably know Darcy's reality TV reputation, and let's face it, she doesn't exactly come across as low-key. To my surprise, though, the meeting went relatively well. The language barrier was an obstacle, sure, but Georgie's parents seemed open to Darcy after a rocky start. For a second, I almost believed things could be smooth sailing. TLC, screenshot. Then I remembered who we're dealing with. Darcy and Georgie can barely keep it together on a dinner date, let alone a family trip. The tension was bubbling under the surface the entire time. One more glass of wine and they would have exploded. So while the introductions were polite, I'm not betting on peace lasting long. All in all, this episode delivered the kind of chaotic energy we tune in for. Brandon continues to be the weakest husband on the planet, Julia deserves sainthood, Jasmine's juggling men like it's a sport, Gino's delusional enough to think he's the prize, Natalie dropped the mic and left, and Darcy's trying and maybe failing to play the part of future daughter-in-law. Season 9 is heating up, and the reunion promises to be messy. The only thing I know for sure. Someone's going to walk off set. Probably multiple people. So, what's your take? Was Brandon wrong for leaving with his parents? Will Julia finally snap? Do you think Jasmine will actually move on with Matt, or will she keep Gino hanging around for drama's sake? And is anyone else secretly rooting for Darcy to shock us all and actually make this relationship work? Hit the comments. I need to know where you stand on this circus. Watch 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Online. If Jasmine had walked in, smiled sweetly, and introduced herself to Natalie, she would have looked like the bigger person, and Gino would have been the one sweating bullets. But Jasmine doesn't do subtle. Instead, she went from 0 to Banshee in 0.3 seconds. We're talking screaming expletives, accusing Natalie of being a sex worker, and then lunging like this was a UFC undercard. The producers didn't even need to add dramatic music, it was pure chaos. Poor Dana got caught in the crossfire, shoved to the ground while trying to break it up. This bar was basically one spilled drink away from a full-blown WWE SmackDown. TLC screenshot. And the bar patrons, cheering, like they were at a championship fight. Jasmine basked in the applause while Natalie was pushed outside, and was left trying to figure out what alternate reality she had just walked into. Meanwhile, Gino, the human beige sweater, stayed inside. Didn't follow Natalie out, didn't defend her, just stood there, sipping his drink like he was watching sports highlights. When he finally did go outside, it was only because someone prompted him. Natalie was humiliated, and the man who brought her there couldn't even muster the decency to walk her out himself. But here's the thing, Gino's been making women look foolish for years, so Natalie might want to save herself the trouble and cut her losses now. From the look on her face at the end of the episode, she might already be there. The whole Natalie arc screams manufactured storyline, like the producers realized Gino and Jasmine can't quit each other, so they brought in Natalie to keep the mess going. Respect the hustle, but it's giving soap opera. Gino needs to grow a backbone. Next week promises Gino getting verbally demolished by Matt, which I'm here for, but let's not pretend this love triangle isn't just a messy square now that we know Jasmine ends up having Matt's baby. Kara, honey, when you ask someone to pack up and go, it's generally not the best precursor to a reconciliation. That's not, we just need space, that's, this is over, please collect your belongings. Neither of them seems interested in putting in the work. They're equally stubborn, equally salty, and equally exhausting to watch. At this point, co-parenting their son peacefully would be a bigger win than pretending they're still in love. But no, instead, we're stuck watching them glare at each other in alternating scenes while the producers scramble to make their storyline matter. And honestly, that's this whole season in a nutshell. Ever After used to be about actual relationship drama. Now it's about who can stage the most chaotic fight for the cameras. The cast is clearly competing for screen time, the storylines feel like they were pitched in a production meeting, and the magic is slipping away. Still, I can't lie, I'll be seated for next week. Because if Jasmine can pull off this level of chaos in a bar, imagine what she'll do in a living room face-off. So, what do we think, friends? Did Jasmine go nuclear too quickly? TLC screenshot. And was Gino's decision to stay inside during the fight the final nail in the coffin for his relationship with Natalie? What's your take on the way everyone treated Natalie? Do you think Kara should have expected Guillermo at her performance after what happened between them? Hit the comments. I'll be here with popcorn. Watch 90 Day. The couple, who married during season 9, have returned to screens for 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. And are now at the center of a slow-burning implosion. You're not being supportive, Kara told Guillermo during 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 4 An argument over her singing career. TLC Stephanie Diani. She added that they were sleeping in separate bedrooms. When asked about the separation, she initially claimed Guillermo left, but later admitted, I asked him to leave. She explained that Guillermo confronted Kara about her late-night giggling and texting. Who are you talking to? He asked. Kara replied, it's none of your business. 90 Day Fiancé has many dysfunctional couples. That moment didn't sit well with fans. Many took to social media to accuse Kara of gaslighting Guillermo and shifting blame. For a couple once praised for being mature and low drama by 90-day standards, it was a jarring shift and one that sparked rumors of infidelity, especially given Kara's defensiveness and flippant attitude. TLC screenshot. Adding fuel to the speculation is the pair's online behavior. Guillermo remains active on Instagram, posting photos of himself and their baby, but Kara has been notably absent from his recent posts. The last time he shared anything with Kara was back in 2023. That gap hasn't gone unnoticed by fans, who are now dissecting every post for signs of a breakup. The contrast is especially sharp given how often the couple used to post together, engagement shoots, baby updates, and wedding throwbacks. Now, it's as if Kara has disappeared from Guillermo's digital world. Meanwhile, Kara's feed focuses on solo content, brand partnerships, and personal updates, with no visible trace of her husband. Some fans suspect the couple is playing up the drama for the cameras to stay relevant. Is there hope for Kara and Guillermo? After all, they were once dismissed a boring, a fate worse than scandal in reality TV. But others believe the breakdown is genuine and point to Kara's dismissive attitude and Guillermo's visible discomfort on the show as evidence of real tension. TLC screenshot. If this is a performance, it's a convincing one. If it's real, then their relationship may be in deeper trouble than they're letting on. Either way, they're finally interesting, but at the cost of their image as a stable, loving couple. The truth is, reality TV doesn't reward healthy relationships. Couples who communicate well, avoid drama, and quietly build a life together don't trend on Twitter. Kara and Guillermo were once too normal to matter. Now, with their relationship unraveling on-screen and off, they're finally getting attention, but it's not the kind that leads to fan support. Watch 90 Day Fiancé online. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 8 features closure, delusion, and an awkward declaration of love. Oh my, what a mess 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 8 is. So many relationships are on the line. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 7 delivers non-stop chaos. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 7 sent the drama into overdrive, but who's headed for Splitsville? Local police could not help me. Luckily I finally got help from the authorities I contacted via email at remoteaccessrecovery@gmail.com. Wonderfully, after providing my details, it took them barely a week to trace and retrieve my funds. Get help from them if you are in a similar. Jesse. Thursday 7th of August 2025. Happy his wife is calling him out now. Men always ruining perfect union by cheating and they can't take it. I had same case of cheating, had to contact someone to remotely help me spy on his phone. Ultimately I could see everything he was doing on his phone through my device in another country. Thanks to Olevhaktista-on-ig- for doing this sad world we. Happy his wife is calling him out now. Men always ruining perfect union by cheating and they can't take it. I had same case of cheating, had to contact someone to remotely help me spy on his phone. Ultimately I could see everything he was doing on his phone through my device in another country. Thanks to Olevhaktista-on-ig- for doing this sad world we live in. Add your comment. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 5 Review. Are we being punked? By author Paul Daly. Posted on Published. August 3, 2025, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 4 comments. Does anyone else feel like we're being punked with 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9. Just when it seemed the franchise was inching toward a comeback, 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9 Episode 5 stumbles in wearing last year's plotlines and smelling faintly of desperation. The editors have somehow perfected the art of stretching 10 minutes of story into 2 hours of television.